Hello? Hey, Ann, how's it going? Things are going fine. The Among Us server just went down, I'm guessing for more maintenance in regards to the recent update, so I've moved on to Minecraft at this point.
JourneyCraft chatbot said.
Oh god, that's broadcasting Discord right now. Or yeah. Stop that. Okay.
JourneyCraft chatbot said.
Alright. There it is.
JourneyCraft chatbot said. Anibaba sheep, was that a bot? LMFAO.
Yeah, I left the text-to-speech bot on from previous stream.
Lucy said, wait, Among Us legit just shut down. Lucy
oh yeah,
said,
yeah, the server just went down.
JourneyCraft chatbot said. Anibaba sheepo. JourneyCraft
Really, it's the best I can tell.
JourneyCraft chatbot said. Anibaba sheep ACC.
Alright.
L Gasp said KK. JourneyCraft chatbot said. Anibaba sheep, what have you been up to?
A lot of Mario Party.
JourneyCraft chatbot said. LNE said ACC. I've always wanted to play. Lucy
yeah, it's
said,
a fun
wait,
game.
did it? LNE said play. Lucy said I'm ASKNGR.
Oh, that damn it, Freebird.
LNE said OMG, I keep on disconnecting, give me a sec to rejoin. Lucy said, can I join VC Annie? Lucy said, and cake.
Tell him it's okay, at least if you think it's okay too.
JourneyCraft chatbot said.
Fuck, where's dirt? Ah. Yeah, it's...
JourneyCraft chatbot said. Anibaba sheep, you can add songs if you want, this is my chill playlist. JourneyCraft chatbot said left for cake too, it's fine Lucy.
Oh, honestly, I have the music button muted because I'm also streaming. So, you know, but... I have...
JourneyCraft chatbot said. Anibaba sheepo.
Yeah, so you can listen to whatever you want, it won't impact me at all. I'm desperate for...
Chatbot said. Anibaba sheepo cock.
Yeah, I'm desperate for a music bot I can use that lets me do viewer music requests, but I can also, like, have it only play in Discord. Like, or does music requests, but, like, I can have it play on Discord and then have a separate app so that I can listen to it while keeping it mute on stream, you know what I mean? So I can have, like, music playing for people in Discord, and then... At least for my own. I know how to do separate audio layers in, like, OBS, but there's, like, no way to separate the music bot from the rest of Discord.
But don't you get copyrighted if you stream?
No, that's the point, just so that's muted on the stream, but it plays on Discord. That's the app I'd like, you know?
Anibaba sheep with music. JourneyCraft chatbot said. Anibaba sheep option DKEN.
Because if I get music playing on an application that's separate from Discord...
I don't know how anything works, just bear WMDD.
Yeah, like, all I would need is for the music on my end to be playing in a different application other than Discord. And I can tell Windows to use a different speaker, basically. I can tell Discord to use, have the music...
JourneyCraft chatbot said left 4 cake 2, it's fine, Lucy.
Oh, oops.
Lucy said I don't think most streamers know how copyright works anyway.
Yeah, but... God... I should really not even bother repairing shit while it's still night.
Baba Sheepo, is Lucy on call? PP. Lucy said yet. Lucy said I'm in call.
I'll even still... Like... The copyright system, even regardless of what copyright law says, the YouTube copyright system can pretty much be abused unless you can afford a lawyer and actually go to court. Because the laws mean jack shit if you can't go to court, because if they take you down and then they say, this is our copyright, well, the next action is to get lawyers. Yeah, because your content will just stay down. So, regardless of anyone's actual knowledge of law...
that the dude who made the D's nuts joke copyrighted the sound/clip.
I feel... God, I have a gut feeling something like that probably would hold up if he actually got
it in their video. Lucy said they can get claimed. Lucy said yet.
I have a feeling like if you actually took him to court on that one wouldn't hold up.
These nuts.
Because I think
chatbot said Baba Sheepo.
Because I feel like that clip is too short. You know? But again, it all depends on what the judge actually says.
Lucy said wait. Lucy said yeah no. Lucy said it is too short.
Yeah, but that would require actually going to court, though, to prove.
Lucy said the clip entirely is 6+ seconds long.
Yeah, but, you know, he could still put it, if he has the rights...
But if you play 4 seconds of a song, no copyright. Lucy said yeah, true.
I mean, a lot of it depends on your lawyers and their lawyers, if you were to actually go to court. And unfortunately, even if you win, you probably still lose a shit ton of money.
Lucy said, oh man, what sucks is editors and editing.
Well. It all depends.
Lucy said like finding them / learning it.
Oh. I mean, some people like doing that stuff, so, you know, that doesn't suck, but even if it's still a lot of work, like, even stuff that's fun can still be stressful.
Lucy said I love learning new things, but if I have to learn an entire thing and are entirely horrible at it, then it's just hard to get motivated.
Well, I think what helps...
Chatbot said Baba Sheepo, how do you know if something is copyrighted? Lucy said just been thinking of getting into some editing practice.
Okay, well, legally, if you make something, like anything you made that isn't already copyrighted by someone else, you can defend as your copyright in court, I think. Provided you can prove you're the original creator
Lucy
of it.
replied to JourneyCraft chatbot, well, on YouTube there's a CC tag in the description with the OG creators of it. That's how you know it's copyright claimed.
Oh yeah. Oh, can you actually tell if a video is claimed?
Lucy said no.
Yeah, I would say, I didn't think you could, but maybe, like, for all I know, YouTube could have added something. I wasn't looking.
Lucy said I don't think so, but videos have the songs in them that do have copyright in their description.
Yeah, I know, yeah, usually that stuff displays if you filed the video yourself with YouTube, but only, like, certain kinds of creators can do that. I forget what the requirements are, though. I mean, it's something anyone can get into. It's not like you have to be special to get into it, other than the requirements for it. But you know.
Lucy said, man, it's wild to know that Icy has the official music thing. Lucy said at 2K subs.
I don't think it's a subs thing. I think it's a he legally sells the music, so therefore he
Lucy
has the
said quality.
paper. Well,
Lucy said, oh.
Yeah, because he's actually selling it and has it
Lucy
monetized.
said, yeah, probably.
The paperwork
Lucy said,
exists
I
for
see.
it. Yeah.
Lucy said, yeah, monetization, I see.
Yeah, and the fact that he has it monetized on like another website, you know. So you can just link his Amazon page to it or something. Like I'm half talking out of my ass, but I think I'm at least like in the ballpark, you know.
Lucy said, I don't know, like the fact I saw it as a viewer thing shows that the viewers don't know how the YouTube stuff works.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know how actual copyright works per se beyond Tom Scott's video talking about it. And his video
Lucy
was all
said,
about...
yeah, Tom Scott.
Yeah, like I know how... you know, like all I know is stuff from his video. I love Tom Scott, by the way. I've been watching him for a while.
Lucy said, in this video we are in dash.
Okay. Yeah, his series, let's see, I think first I learned about him from computer file.
Lucy
but then I got...
said, oh, so you learned how to teleport.
Oh yeah, that was an early one. I wish he did more superpower videos like that, but I understand that a lot of his early videos are like were experiments. And I guess that one just didn't pick up, or he didn't have interest in doing it with any other powers. But yeah, the series that's sick were like the what things you didn't know. He also started doing the basics for computer stuff. That's one that he's actually done a couple episodes on.
Lucy said, sorry Annie if we're just going on a tangent.
Oh, there's this video about time zones on the Computer File channel. If you haven't seen that one's great.
JourneyCraft chatbot said.
Packeter even
Lucy
commented
said,
too that
face.
he watched Tom Scott's video about, like I showed him his video on time zones after he watched an historical video on it, and basically Tom Scott is running through like all the weirdness in the like opposite order. Because, you know, it's kind of how you end up discovering the stuff when you're programming it. Is you do simple
Lucy
stuff
said,
first.
I'll
People
type
complain
in
about...
VC typing until Annie joins back.
Okay, but if you start typing VC typing, that my text-to-speech will stop reading it for me, and I won't see it in the VR.
Lucy said, oh, alrighty then, I'll type it here.
Yeah, the two chats I'll hear are the game anything tied to the game chat and anything tied to any of my stream chats.
Lucy said, oh yeah, I forgot you're also playing. Lucy said, besides, what are you up to?
I don't know, I just kind of hopped on to fill time. I started just killing mobs with my looting sword just to do
Lucy
something
said,
while I
fair.
think. Yeah.
Annie said, I am here.
Although,
Lucy said, do you have a trident yet? Lucy said, hello, welcome back.
No, I don't.
Annie said, I had to check my chem.
In fact, when I do get one, I was thinking about getting like whatever the propelling thing and setting up a bunch of water.
Right. How was it? Lucy said, yeah.
What I want to eventually do is have a trident and
Annie said,
elytra,
eat, but I'll be on the server.
and just set up a bunch of water holes
Lucy
to act
said,
as launch points.
7, can't you? Lucy said, that's super off. Lucy
Yeah.
said, yeah, loudly crying face. Lucy said, okay, Annie B.
I don't know if I got. The thing is, my sword's really powerful already anyway, so I'm not sure I want a combat trident. I just want one to use with the elytra to save on fireworks a little bit. Yeah, I can just put a bunch of water puddles all over the place to act as launch pads.
Lucy said yet it would be definitely useful LUL.
I mean, the rain would be fantastic, but I was thinking like just you can just make like water sources all over the place. And that can also be useful. Like, I feel like that's a underappreciated feature, is being able to launch out of water like that.
Lucy said it's dangerous to use a trident and elytra on mobile.
Oh, is it? Is that universally
Lucy
true? Is
said
it just
because the chunks don't load fast enough?
Okay, I was wondering if that was universally true or if it's just a problem with the Geyser server. I guess it also depends on your phone too, because the phone I got surprisingly runs the game seemingly on par with
Lucy
PC,
said, yeah,
but
it's partially universally. Lucy said, yeah.
Yeah, like I didn't realize how good spec.
Chatbot said. Lucy said, I get 64 FPS and stuff, but it's still kinda lag on the server.
Well, I mean, the frame rate's mostly the video process. I mean, I think it's what you need is the processor to actually like load the. Well, I mean, yeah, the visual.
Said.
There's also connections.
But that's probably because of internet connection.
Yeah, the internet connection. I was also connected to a 5 GHz connection too, though, on my router, so I don't know if that influences anything.
Lucy said probably does.
So, plus, you know, in the same room as it, you know. Like, I know, I hear a lot of people comment about when they're connected to their home Wi-Fi, it's like, oh, it has to be in this weird room because that's where the coaxial was. I'm thinking like, wait, hold on. Why are these coaxials in such weird places if these houses were built before Wi-Fi? In some of these places. I mean, the coaxial might have been added in later, but... I mean, now that Wi-Fi exists, they'll put the coaxial someplace really out of the way. And be like, oh, you just use Wi-Fi, and then the Wi-Fi connection turns out to suck.
I have a subpar 2 MB's 4G connection, and I want to ask for it to be faster, but my parents don't understand online gaming, so they think our Wi-Fi is perfect. JourneyCraft chatbot said.
Really? I mean, okay. That's pretty, yeah, I mean, wait, 4G. How would you get faster 4G? Usually carriers offer the 4G speed. You can only get like, you can get, or do you mean?
Lucy said, I'm not even sure if the Wi-Fi is 4G. Lucy said it's just Wi-Fi man loudly crying face.
Oh, wait, hold on. Yeah, okay, for one thing, when you say my Wi-Fi is 4G, that makes literally no sense, because the two types of Wi-Fi connections are the 2.5 megahertz and the 5 megahertz. That's what the
Lucy
wireless
said,
frequencies are.
Lucy said, well then I probably have the 2.5.
Yeah, usually if it has a 5 gigahertz
Lucy said because it is absolute dog water.
Yeah, usually if you have a 5 gigahertz Wi-Fi connection, it'll be a dual band router for compatibility's sake. And you'll see two Wi-Fi connections come from the same router, one of them usually marked with 5G on it. At least on compatible devices. Even then, my actual computer's connected via Ethernet, because, you know, that's the ideal scenario, but...
Lucy said, wait. Lucy said my Wi-Fi has that.
Yeah, okay, so the difference is 5 gigahertz is faster.
Lucy said
but...
it's just that my phone isn't compatible.
Oh, alright, then yeah. The downside to 5G, though, is it can't pass through walls. So if your router's in a different room, you might still end up with a better connection. Or, well, I mean, it can pass through walls a little bit, but that's trouble with it. Usually the 5 gigahertz is best, like, in the same or, like, the next room, or at least, at the very, depending on how your house is insulated. I mean, some people don't...
in the same room. How about with Ethernet?
well, Ethernet's a... Well, if you have Ethernet, then you want to be using the Ethernet, because the actual Ethernet connection itself is a million times, usually is way faster than even your internet connection.
Lucy said, yeah, the skull.
Yeah, if you're using Ethernet, then any slowdown from your connection's got to be between the router and the internet at that point. Unless there's something actively wrong with your Ethernet connection.
Lucy said it's connected to my TV and it literally has no loading time and it's amazing.
Yeah, my TV is still connected, or my quote-unquote TV, because it's technically a projector, and I use a Chromecast, so... But my Chromecast is connected via Wi-Fi because it's all a Chromecast can do. Because they're just a little, like, pocket-sized device.
Lucy said that's cool.
Yeah. I mainly got the projector because the place we wanted to screen, the outlet on that spot of the room doesn't work. You know, it's not... The landlord's notorious for just not...
Said.
Our landlord's notorious for just not ever getting around to fixing anything.
Lucy said, I mean, isn't that almost all though?
I don't know, like for example, if you're renting from a business instead of an individual person, renting apartments, usually it's a lot better.
Lucy said also, this sounds like I'll pay the rent when you fix this damn door.
Yeah. The thing is the monthly rate we get from him is cheaper than any of the other, like I found him on Craigslist, and his apartment rate is generally cheaper than any of the apartments in Delaware. So unfortunately, it's a competition issue where most of the actual...
Said, yeah, it's probably definitely worth it if it's cheap. Lucy said, yeah.
And aside from the plumbing and this one outlet being broken, we haven't had any major issues apart from the cat breaking a bunch of ceiling tiles, which is entirely our fault, but given that the landlord still hasn't acknowledged that.
Lucy said PFF cat is cat.
Yeah, I mean...
Lucy said let cat be.
Yeah, we do pay him a little bit extra for having the cat, so... And another thing, too, is he hasn't been increasing the rate of rent with inflation at all either, which is strange. Like, any other apartment we've been to, they'd slowly, like, hike the rent every year, just to... at least quote-unquote keep up with inflation. How true that is, I don't know, but I don't know anything about property values. Apart from the fact that the landlord himself has to pay taxes and stuff on it, that's the only part I know. But yeah. Still,
Lucy
though,
said I wouldn't be surprised if he just forgets about the property and just lets it sit there, and that's why he rents it out.
Yeah, true. Like, this is actually like, Delaware has a lot of, Delaware, Ohio, has a lot of apartments that are just houses that were split up into separate apartments. In this case, we're in the basement floor, and we just have the whole basement floor. So it does feel like, it doesn't feel like an apartment at all. It doesn't feel like we just are living in a little house, because the way, like, hell, the way this apartment's been split up is actually pretty nice. Because it does feel like each floor is its own house. It doesn't feel like a split up apartment.
Well, that must feel quite homey.
Yeah, depending on how the split job was. There's not like, it doesn't feel like anything's crunched, you know, like some of the other ones.
I am not cramped.
Yeah, like some of them can be. Plus the isolation between the apartments is nice too. Like, one time the neighbors left the front door open, and I didn't know that until I walked out the door of the apartment to go up the stairs. That's how good the insulation is, at least, between them. Because it went from our warm apartment to being, like, freezing in the hallway that they left the door open in. And it's not my...
said my home is super crunched because you'll open a drawer and you'll never find a thing that has been used for 4 years.
Anyway, so on the note of why I got a projector, just because the plug where we wanted the TV is broken. So instead we got a projector because that means we can plug it in on the opposite side. That means we can plug the projector in the opposite side of the room and point it where we want it. Boop. Yeah. He still has the his AU name. Even though only...
JourneyCraft chatbot said blue is cyberpig just testing my texture pack. Lucy said I see.
Yeah. If you look at my stream, you'll see like at least one item I've texture packed. This here's, yeah, and also I've not killed anyone with it yet, so you won't see it in the death log, but my sword is called Ashbringer off of Ashbringer from World of Warcraft. The diamond variant of the texture looks like the normal colors, but I made it look like...
Lucy said that sword looks legit dope.
Yeah, yeah, this is the netherite variant. The diamond version is the actual colors in the game, and I just kind of recolored another one. As someone inspired by fan art versions of the corrupted version, but yeah.
Lucy said, yeah, that's fair. JourneyCraft chatbot said.
And any sword that gets renamed Ashbringer will look like this in my resource pack.
Lucy said, wait, are you more of a sleek or a big sword kinda guy?
I don't know, I'd rather, like, I think for swords I'd rather go sleek, but axes I prefer.
Cyberpig Pippies from Deltarune.
But axes, on the other hand, I'd rather have one big axe than two small axes.
Lucy said,
Like, I always preferred the big two-handed axe when playing Slayer and
Lucy said
Warhammer.
battle axe instead of normal axes.
Yeah, like, God, in Warhammer Online, there was a class called the Slayer, and I decided to go the spec with the giant, like, two-handed axe, which was the counter-spec to what most of the enemy faction played. But because everyone else wanted to be Gotrek from Gotrek, or, no, they didn't want to be Gotrek. Why didn't anyone want to be Gotrek from Gotrek Felix? Because he has one big two-handed axe, but everyone wanted to duel instead, for whatever reason. So no one played this spec that was the counter to most of the classes the enemy faction played. So as a result, it kind of made me OP just because of the player population of the game. It wasn't even necessarily that the game itself was unbalanced, it was just our server and what people were playing. Like, legit, one time I logged in that game, and the entire town was having trouble with a tank on the other side who was doing, like, an infinite defense loop with his spells. I walk up to him and use my ability to break one of his bubbles, and he just instantly drops. The hundreds of players hitting him. The hundreds of players couldn't do any damage to him because no one was spec'd to remove his damage reductions. Until I walked up to him. And he just drops like a rock instantly when I break one of his things.
Lucy said, just being that dude who's like, my people need me. Lucy said hits once.
Yeah, I hit him once. Yeah, and it's not that my hit killed him, it's like my hit just removed his armor, which enabled everyone else to take him out.
Lucy said PFFF. Lucy said that's hecking wild.
Yeah, all because no one on our side were playing any of the anti-tank class against a faction on our server that was because on our server where the enemy faction was playing mostly tank classes.
Lucy said that also sounds kinda unbalanced if no other class can deal with that.
Well, it's not that no other class can deal with it, just no one was playing them on our server at least. This probably wasn't an issue on other servers.
Yeah, so chatbot said.
So it wasn't necessarily
Lucy said, all right, LMAO rip.
Yeah, it wasn't that the game was imbalanced, just our server wasn't imbalanced. Because we didn't have the correct balance of the playable classes. And it's not like TF2 where you can just switch on the fly, you know?
SMFHLUL. Lucy said, what game is that?
It's Warhammer Online. It's defunct now. It's been for years. Though there is a revival server of it, which honestly has been one of the most successful revival servers of any MMO from what I've heard.
Lucy said, Revival II.
Yeah. So if you want to play it now, some features are missing and stuff, but there has been some drama with the mods, but as long as you don't interact with.
JourneyCraftChatbot said. Lucy said better than nothing, I guess.
Yeah. Apart from some drama with one of the mods, it's been the most successful private server revival project for any MMO based on player population activity. And that's in spite of there being some drama with the mods who was just banning people he didn't like. Of course, if you never interacted with him, you wouldn't have known anything about it if you didn't read any stories. So, you know, he's just one guy who you might
Lucy
never
said,
see.
yeah, sadly never.
But yeah. Yeah, Warhammer Online was an interesting game. Plus, a lot of ideas that current MMOs use originated from it. I'm trying to remember what, though, because it's so the features it introduced are so ubiquitous now that I hardly can, you know. And Warhammer Online was the first MMO I played, so I don't have much point of reference for the features that originated from it
Lucy said,
personally.
what about the axe stuff? A large battle axe is fair. I've always wondered about maining a trident in Minecraft. So it's either an axe or a trident, but those are pretty boring, so I'm...
Yeah. My understanding is the trident, I think the meta with the trident is it's generally good when you're doing aquatic stuff and not much else. Much like most of the things in the aquatic update, with the exception of being able to fly with the elytra.
Lucy said, yeah.
Which, I mean, it's not the worst thing in the world. It does kind of feel weird, though, that the trident's like the only
Lucy said
specialized...
trident is pretty cool with mobility, but only in certain situations.
Yeah, it does kind of feel weird, though, that aquatic is basically the only biome with its, like, its own meta and gear set.
Lucy said, yeah.
Like, I wouldn't mind if, like, say, maybe the sword was, like, the general default,
Lucy
but they
said
did, like...
turtle helmet and stuff.
Oh, God. Okay, let me think. So you have the turtle helmet and head slot. Elytra goes in the chest slot. Is there any utility pants or boots, like, at all? Like, I feel like the pants and boots need, like, utility.
Lucy said no, but boots have depth strider.
Yeah, I guess you have a utility. But I think it'd be cool if they made, like, say, like, running boots that didn't provide armor but let you, like, run faster. Maybe they could even make them cheaper, like, you just put feathers on boots or, you know, or something, you know. Okay, that gets overshadowed by the elytra, but... if they just did, like, something...
Lucy said I'd imagine they plan on adding frog boots or something.
Or even better, what if you could, like, have a running start and you could, like, fly a little bit with the elytra? Like, not enough to really soar, but, like, you could do, like,
Lucy
hops.
said like glide?
Yeah, like, it'd be like Superman before he could fly. Like, originally, before they gave him flight, he could literally only leap over tall buildings. It'd be like that.
Lucy said baha.
Like, you jump up really high with the boots,
Lucy said
and then you could glide
just a
down.
super frog.
Yeah, no, originally, though, that was, like, the flight was actually a buff they gave him, like, as a result of power creep.
Lucy said so like a bouncing affect?
Yeah, kind of. I mean, maybe, like, the initial jump requires a running start, but then you can maintain it by bouncing. That'd be kind of cool. I mean, originally I was thinking the Pegasus boost from Zelda, but I think jumping actually is better because then you can integrate it with the elytra.
I mean, that's already doable, so they could do it.
Yeah, bouncing would work with the other existing features better than just running, because running would just get outplayed by the elytra, but bouncing could work with the elytra.
Lucy said I don't know, they need a different way of transportation in MC.
The problem is, once you introduce flight, it's kind of hard to entice people to use anything but. At least, I mean, I guess the fact...
yeah, true.
I guess on the other hand, since you need the end to access flight,
Lucy
other
said
modes...
elytra is just super convenient.
Since traditionally you need in vanilla, the only way to get the elytra is with the end, so you could just propose other forms of transportation for the sake of like scenarios where you can't get to the end, like either because it's disabled or you're playing on a late server, or you just don't feel like doing that right away. Like, that's just not the game plan. And I guess things like minecarts, once you have those set up, don't require additional resources apart from...
Lucy said ID say the list of transport is always a Elytra horse boat minecart. JourneyCraft chatbot said.
Yeah. And unfortunately, I can't use most of those because I think out of all those, the Elytra is the only thing that doesn't get me kicked for...
Lucy said flying.
Yeah,
Lucy said yep. JourneyCraft chatbot said blue a cyberpig textures work.
Well, actually, it's not even flying, just...
Chatbot said blue a cyberpig I can leave. Lucy said let's go. JourneyCraft chatbot said blue a cyberpig goodbye. JourneyCraft chatbot said. Lucy said goodbye.
Yeah, but I get
Lucy
kicked
said
for
it's just floating.
I get kicked for too many packets. If I try to use like the horse, the boat. Okay, well the boat I can passenger seat it if the boat doesn't go too fast. So like if the boat's on ice, then even passenger seat stops.
Lucy said oh.
Working. Yeah, it's just the VR. I guess.
Lucy said yeah, I had that problem before.
Yeah, for me it's the combination of VR and the vehicle. I guess it just ends up sending too much traffic to the server.
Lucy said, do you also get stuck in bamboo?
I don't think I get stuck in bamboo.
Lucy said, like laggy glitch stuck. Lucy said, oh.
I test it again right now, but we've taken down all our bamboo. So...
Lucy said, Zam. Lucy
yeah,
said,
like...
bamboo's all gone. Lucy said, pensive face.
Yeah, I don't, the bamboo, I don't remember the bamboo. Bamboo doesn't cause me trouble. The bucket thing also was fixed for me when the VR plugin was added, because I know people in some other clients have issues where the buckets don't place and pick up properly. It was doing that for me until Pixel put the VR plugin on the server, which I think only fixes it for me, because it, you know, obviously it's not made for the other clients.
Lucy said it.
Yeah, because I imagine it's just a desync issue with the way the different clients interact with the server.
Lucy said, I mean, I respect it that it's made for everyone and anything. Lucy said, like the Bedrock port.
Yeah.
Lucy said VR stuff.
Yeah, the VR stuff is technically compatible with vanilla servers, but there are some quirks.
Lucy said makes it feel inclusive, which feels pretty good.
I don't remember how to... Oh yeah, I think I changed my controls, and that's why I can't access the teleport. I would need to put the teleport button back on, but technically VR players can teleport.
Lucy said what?
Yeah, I think it can be disabled in the config.
Lucy said like just flat out teleports with no commands, huh? Lucy
yeah,
said whoa.
Yeah, it falls back to using the TP command if the plugin's not detected. But, yeah, the way it works, though, is you have to be able to point to the spot you want to teleport to. And there are also options to limit height. There are also options to, like, height that can be employed both client and server side.
Point and click for teleport.
Yeah, because that's a common way to combat motion sickness for people that get motion sickness easily in VR. Is,
Lucy said, I get that, yeah, wait, let me tune into stream and show me.
Well, okay. God. I'm gonna have to go to my Steam settings and change my controls, but... And you can't see me in my Steam settings, so I'm probably going like a dork standing around doing nothing while I look at this. Save personal bindings so I don't lose it. No, type in the title so I know what it is. Okay, keyboard, come back. No. Can I not? Why does it seem like me type in? You know, the keyboard's gone. So no room for additional letter. Take. Okay, save. Okay. I'm gonna activate the default control. Options, VR. I need to make sure force free mode is not on. Teleport settings. Wait. There it is. Okay, I'm doing it now. Yeah, it's not like I can't. And there's a distance limit too. Like I can't just teleport like all the way over there, but I can teleport like short distances. I guess it's more like a short blink. But I can't do it over. The one thing that could be considered cheating is I can do it over gaps.
Oh, that's fair.
Yeah, and I could probably do it. Okay, so I can't do it through the door, but if there's like a hole in your build, I probably can get through that.
Lucy said no, that's not teleporting. Lucy said oh. Lucy said I mean that's fair.
Yeah.
Lucy said all good though.
Oh god, the motion sensor on my controller was not working there, but...
Lucy said can you go up mountains with it P? Lucy said I doubt
well, let's see. At least with this config, it doesn't let me... Let me see if I can change the... There are some settings to it. Yeah, the default up limit, but I can't... Oh, the highest up I can even teleport is 4 blocks at max setting. That's without hacking the mod, anyway. I guess I could increase the distance, but
Lucy
only by twice. So here's the maximum I can go then. Turn it up, it's like there. I mean, that's a bit far, but it's still like within...
Lucy said we are safe from frog leaping cake.
I don't like teleporting anyway. For me, it's just kind of a bit obnoxious because it's just like blink, blink, blink. And half the time, like, if I'm not, like, it takes a second to aim because I'll just point and some, like, grass will be in the freaking way or something and I have to, like, adjust it.
Lucy said, I wonder if you're fast enough, could you just Dragon Ball Z teleport behind your opponent?
I mean, yeah, I think, because, I mean, you have to be able to turn around.
Lucy said, Omi WML. Shinru just eat them. Lucy said, that'll be hilarious.
I can even change the rotation intervals. Like, set to 180 degrees. It'd be like, pop, pop, pop.
Lucy said it was made for this loudly crying face.
So I could use this to teleport just behind someone.
Lucy said, bahaha.
Of course, I could. Yeah, I think that's probably the most shenanigan I could do. Even then, you can still do that with an Ender Pearl if you wanted to. I mean, you avoid the damage by doing it this way, but...
Lucy said but wouldn't be as cool.
Yeah, it wouldn't be... Yeah, like I said, it does, if you didn't want to install the plugin but still want people to be able to teleport, you could give them permission for the TP command. But then they wouldn't be able to teleport anywhere, but that's just not ideal for this server, but maybe for some other application. Yeah, as part
Lucy
of...
said yeah.
Of course, I guess you could put... Oh, I need to... I've been fucking around with my VR settings now. I can't rotate the way I usually do. That back to 45 degrees. There we go, that's better.
Lucy said be careful, don't fall out the world again, Skull.
I don't think it quite... Yeah, and I can't even... it has its own built-in X-ray. It's blocking out your view too, right? It's not just only blocking out my eye. Yeah.
Lucy said sheesh.
Oh, on you actually can see a bit more on the stream than I could in my VR headset. Because like right here, my eye is already blackened out in the VR headset. I think it's just because the VR doesn't know, or the 2D view doesn't know whether to consider itself my left or right eye.
Lucy said PFFF.
Yeah, but no, what happened was like the
Lucy
reason why
it's concerning.
Yeah, it is a little bit. I didn't realize that because like I said, the 2D view, okay, so right here my left eye is blocked. Right here, just my sorry, right eye.
Funny though.
Yeah, right here, like I don't know what you can see, but my left eye is blocked out and my right eye is entirely outside. So, you know. Which is why I recommend, like, if you, I assume you have it already, but why I highly recommend it, make sure paper's anti-X-ray is enabled.
Lucy said, I wonder if people can see you just clipping through blocks.
Some of the partial blocks are a bit like, I think I can see through these. Well, yeah, only like partial, like only some partial blocks. And even then, I can't see past them. Just the block itself.
Lucy said, like, imagine doing drug dealing and then seeing cake through the corner of the wall.
Yeah, like I can see through the partial block itself, but I can't see past the block behind it. So, you know.
Lucy said, sadly I have to go.
Alright, yeah, I probably won't be on too much long either, because I was just popping in to fill out the remaining stream time I usually do. I was hoping Jam would come on to,
Lucy said, it's been fun talking, but Emma head out.
Alright.
That Jan said, I know. That Jan said, I've just not been in the mood to Minecraft.
God damn it. I just need you to be on for a brief moment. Like... I think I know. Okay, let me set my... Uh-oh.
JourneyCraft chatbot said,